This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
Welcome to the Barbados Today evening update for Monday, October 12th. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Police are investigating a slashing incident allegedly involving two schoolboys. According to Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police, David Welch, a 14-year-old boy was taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance today after he received two cuts to the left side of his body. He was reportedly slashed by another schoolboy around 3 p.m. while on Black Rock Main Road, St. Michael. The teenager's injuries are said to be not life-threatening. Now, the incident comes on the heels of a stabbing last Saturday, which left a 21-year-old man from St. Philip nursing injuries at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. According to police, the man, whose name is being withheld at this time, was stabbed multiple times about the body around 7:20 p.m. while at Browns Beach in Bay Street, but the wounds are not life-threatening. It is reported that his cell phone and a sum of money were also stolen. Police investigations into his attack are ongoing. Family and friends today bid farewell to businessman Stanley Michelini, who was gunned down in a robbery on September 25. Michelini, who was cremated, was described as an intelligent, creative and caring individual who loved life and one of the best horticulturalists on the island. Reading the eulogy, long-standing friend Tony Trulan said he was a unique character who loved Barbados and made a significant contribution to its development over the years.
So finally, in reflection, I am very proud to have had Stan as a friend and have been asked by Zoe, Nikki and Amy to say a few words. It would be impossible to cover everything that Stan has done. He was an ambassador in many areas. An ambassador for what he did, an ambassador for Barbados, an ambassador for the USA, and indeed an ambassador for Heineken. But you have to just look at the amount of people that are here for a man that was not born in the island, who'd worked here and put his life into what we have now. And he really touched our lives. And I don't use this word often, but I'm going to today. Now, Winston Churchill was once asked, what was the definition of a gentleman? And he thought about it and he said, now that is a very difficult question and there isn't a simple answer. But I know this, you know one when you see one. Thanks, Stan. You're a great mate to us all and a gentleman.
No one has been arrested so far in connection with his death, which occurred in Bucks, St. Thomas. But police spokesman, Acting Assistant Superintendent David Welch, says active investigations continue. Meantime, 6 St. Michael men were today remanded to prison for last week's shooting death of 23-year-old Jamal Worrell. Worrell lost his life while working on a farm at the Bleak in Indian Ground, St. Peter. The 6, all from the St. Michael area, are 34-year-olds Rio Graham and Warwick Graham, 21-year-old Dario Mitchell, 20-year-old Alex Jacobs, and 39-year-old James Miller. The men, who appeared before Magistrate Ian Weeks in the District D Magistrates Court, are scheduled to reappear on November 9. A St. Philip woman and her 2 children are homeless after fire destroyed their house this morning. Personnel from the Worthing Fire Station responded to the blaze about 8 minutes past 10. The timber structure belonged to Simone Hines, whose motor car was also destroyed by the blaze. No one was at home at the time. 9 firemen and 2 tenders under the command of Divisional Officer Errol Gaskin responded. Investigations into the cause of the blaze are on the way. The Mount Gay Great House in St. Lucie is now a shell of its former self. This after fire last night gutted the building, which is housed on the compound of the distillery. According to officials at the Western Fire Station, the blaze, which occurred around 7:30 p.m., caused extensive damage to the building, causing the roof to collapse, and only the walls were left intact. Now to the results from last night's final of the Monarchs of the Court Road Tennis Tournament in Wildy, St. Michael. A supremely fit Mac Venom Griffith ran Julian Michael Jackson White rugged in 4 sets, 21-13, 15-21, 21-6, and 21-9 to earn bragging rights as the best in the business. While in the women's final, Kim Holder continued her dominance of women's road tennis with a hard-fought 21-10, 17-21, 21-40 victory over the plucky Rachel Smith.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To news from the region now. Despite severe criticism, Guyana's President David Granger says he will be granting more pardons to persons convicted of petty crimes. He says young people need to be in school and not behind prison walls.
Is that every single Guyanese child must find a place in school. I don't care even if that school is a mango tree or a banana. Every child must go to school. Primary education is compulsory, and parents could be punished. Parents could be fined in the court for not allowing their children to go to school. Whatever you want to do, become a businessman, become a professional, become a teacher, become a soldier, become a property owner, a farmer. The way to get there is through the doors of schools and colleges and universities.
President Granger reminded the students that they are the most important citizens of this country and we have the best resources that are made available to them to enable them to move this country forward.
And one of the most important things we have to learn is respect for each other and respect for ourselves. That is where we start.
That report from Royston Drakes of Capital News. On the international scene, gay, lesbian and transgender students in Puerto Rico can now choose whether to wear pants or skirts to school. According to an article in the Associated Press, the country's Education Secretary, Rafael Roman, today relaxed the rules for public school uniforms, saying that students can for the first time choose to wear pants or skirts as part of their uniforms regardless of their gender. He says teachers will no longer be allowed to discipline students who prefer to wear pants instead of skirts or vice versa. And finally, 5 people, including 2 RAF personnel, were killed and 5 others injured in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. The Puma Mk2 helicopter crashed as it was landing at NATO's Training and Support Mission headquarters in Kabul. NATO has not released the nationalities of the deceased or the other victims who were injured. A Ministry of Defense spokesman said the crash was an accident and not as a result of insurgent activity. And that's our evening update, but for the very latest, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and of course, like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Floor TV and Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. To have a good evening.